All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Second of all, I want to give double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And third of all, I want to give a peace and safety to the hopeful elect out there, the brothers that push this truth, the truth of the King James Bible, and all truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe. All right, so I want to do a short video on how alone the spirit of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai allows us to go. I don't want to name the video the one world digital currency. All right, there will be a one world digital currency. All right, or whatever title Yahba Shem Shai sees for that I'll use. But Lord will, as brothers can see on the screen, I have this article here from the American Banker. All right, what made me want to do this video through the spirit and power of Yahba Shem Shai? I was just reading over some articles in the Zero Hedge. All right, and I ran across one that said now Jamaica is pretty much getting ready to launch their own digital currency. All right, so you got a lot of countries out there that are coming up or making their own digital currency, and we all know what it's going to eventually lead to the Karagma, which all countries will have the Karagma or the beast, the Karagma system, Salakia, as as a way to make payments. Like it says, he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in the forehead, and no man might buy or sell, say he that have the mark of the number of it, of the number of his name, roughly paraphrasing. Slack you. So yeah, that's why you see all these countries shifting towards a digital currency, because ultimately, at the end of the day, it's all going to be the same thing. Again, the Karagma. All right, they might all have their own different names or whatever, their own digital currency or whatever. But at the end of the day, um, if you want to buy and sell, no matter what continent you're on or whatever, in America or Europe or wherever, all right, you're going to have that that Karagma in order to buy and sell, no matter what the name of your digital currency is. All right, so again, it says World Tour of Digital Currency Projects. All right, these are the hundreds of central bank digital currencies in various stages of development across the world, but only a handful are close to coming to market, and a few are live. But every country, is trying to launch their own currency because they see that this system that we're using now, this dollar system, is fading away quickly, and now that they see that the wave is to have everybody have a digital currency. Everything is going digital. Everything. All right. These countries are trying to get ahead of the curve. The most advanced projects are in the Bahamas, which began using the sand dollar last year, and China, which is testing its digital yuan, which they tested out at the Olympics this year. And this article has a little bit of dust on it. It was put up last year, June 3rd. All right, but again, I saw on Zero Hedge an article saying that Jamaica is trying to launch their own digital currency. So the saga continues. All these countries are steady trying to launch their own thing. But at the end of the day, we all know what it's going to be. What the real digital one world currency is going to be. All right. And China, which is testing its digital yuan, which they tested it out this year on the in the at the Olympics, which retailers and consumers other major markets like the U.S. are considering models and using cases of digital currency. Considering Slovakia models and using case of digital currency. Here are some samples of what CBDC strategies look like in the countries that are farther along in their own projects or large enough to influence the world by doing elsewhere. Like Elder Tahar said that China pretty much is going to lead the way to this because China um is pretty much cashless. They either pay with play with their phones, their Apple Pay or whatever smartphone they might have, or that's pretty much how they pay everything. They rarely use cash there. All right, countries like Sweden as well. All right, pretty much is going cashless. So you see the fading away of all these digital currencies. I mean, Slovakia of all these paper paperback currencies. All right, and more likely China, like Elder Tahar said, which I believe as well through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. Uh, China pretty much is going to lead the way. All right. They already, they tested it out on a major stage this year. They tested it out at the Olympics. All right, the digital yuan is currently the most it's like I struggle saying that word, influential CBDC because of the country's size. China is the world's largest digital retail market. See, it's like Elder Tahar said, they're really pushing it in China, and they saying that China is going to be the next financial superpower, and they believe probably that's why they believe probably they believe this is why because they're at the forefront with this digital money system. All right, pretty much all these other countries are trying to catch up, which more than 1.5 trillion in sales in 2022. Right, so, man, that's a lot more than 1.5 trillion in sales in 2022. China has tested its digital currency with major retail chains such as Starbucks and McDonald's. See, they're pretty much full force, and has distributed the country direct currency Salakia directly to the consumer in an attempt to boost adoptions ahead of a launch that could come as early as this year. Right, and again, matter of fact, let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Salakia, brothers, let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Well, I'll pull it up. See if I can pull it up at the end of the video. Yeah, because they're already using. They tested it out this year. Major at a major event, the Olympics, they tested the yarn out, the digital yarn out. All right, so they're pretty much going full force with it, man. And again, that's why you know, like Elder Tahar said, that China pretty much where they are at the forefront of the digital money system. All right, I wouldn't be surprised, if they're the first country to start chipping people by masses to make it mandatory. All right, let's see what the next one is. The U.S. They're talking about Jerome Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, is talking about a CBDC. All right, central bank digital currency. All right, I'm just going to say it. The U.S. is far behind China, which research into a digital dollar in its early stage. Fed Chair Jerome Powell recently uh, criticized like cryptocurrencies while suggesting the underlying technology could be used to support digital dollars. All right, so number two is the U.S. And again, I don't want to make it too long. I'm just skipping through it. The UK, the Bank of England, which is really the top money system, the Bank of England. You got something called the three city states. The United States is the military part of Washington D.C. is the military part. Vatican is the wicked spiritual part. All right, of Esau system, and Europe is the money part. The international bankers are based based out of Europe. All right, so that's where the money is. Europe is where the control of all the money is. All right. The Bank of England and HM Treasury in April forced a task force to research a potential CBDC for the UK, bringing together the government agencies and private sectors to consider a currency that would be an alternative traditional currency in deposits. All right, so you got Europe, the UK, Slovakia, the European Union, the Beast. In April, a speech to the European Par, Parliament ECB board member Fabio Panetta said the central bank was accumulating input from stakeholders from around the EU on designs of digital euro if the EU decides to digitalize its currency. Because you got the European Union, Sweden, which Sweden is ahead of the curve as well. All right, um, they've been chipping people. Sweden is farther along than most countries in the CBDC project. Right, cause they're full force chipping people over there. All right, so they're full force. They're probably ahead of China. All right, maybe or maybe not ahead of China, but they're in full swing there because then they're already chipping people. There are already a lot of people over there that have the chip that are buying and selling with it. All right. Sweden is further along than most countries in the CBDC project and is reportedly working with Hennes Banki to test the e-Corona ability to process payments outside of its test environment. So like the e-Corona, if I'm pronouncing that right, project dates 2017, starting with the research to determine whether the digital currency is necessary. It's uh, alterate, it's like alterated Salakia in 2022. Accelerated Salakia. What's wrong with me, man? Long day. Accelerated in 2022 with pilots in conjunction, which is a part of the digital dollar project that advocates for a CBDC in the USA, in the US, France, which is another NATO EU member. All right. So the beast is going full force with it. That's how many countries from the beast? France, I think Sweden, the European Union, of course. All right, and the U.S. All right, so you had the Brexit or whatever, but uh, yeah, man, the beast is gonna be full force with it. Japan, the Bank of Japan test directly targets some of the concerns about the CBDC, such as impact on traditional bank accounts, and rather the CBDC from different nations can be uh, into operable. So like if I pronounced that wrong, but yeah, you got Japan, Switzerland status as a global bank central making a global banking central making its CBDC activities. Uh, uh, kind of froze up. Politically important, giving a heightening need for into operability. So you got Sweden, Hong Kong, which is China has Hong Kong has submitted a test has been conducted in Hong Kong with the Hong Kong Monetary Authority and the Bank of Thailand build a prototype to transfer the CBDC to execute payments between the two uh, jurisdictions. China's central bank is also working on a CBDC bridging that will connect to the Hong Kong and the Thai central bank as well as the Bank of International Settlements to create an international network for cross-border CBDC. So you got Hong Kong there, the Bahamas. The Bahamas is one of the few countries that actually introduced a live CBDC, the sand dollar, which was launched in October 2022. So yeah, man, all these countries are getting ready to have or already got. Well, some of them already got it in motion. All right, but at the end of the day, we all know what it's gonna be. No matter what your name is, the yuan, the digital yuan, the sand dollar, the central bank digital currency, a cryptocurrency, or whatever it is. At the end of the day, we all know what the system is gonna be, and the spirit is already on it. This Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, and he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free or bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. So you really going to go into that word mark is karagma, which means to make a cut or incision in the flesh. They're going to cut open your flesh, pierce your flesh, or engrave your flesh with the needle and inject a microchip inside of you, in their right hand or in your forehead. All right. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, say he that had the mark, the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So if you don't have that mark or the karagma, you won't be able to buy and sell anything. All right. So it don't matter what the name, which is the microchip is nothing but a digital currency. That's all it is. A digital way, a new digital way of paying things. And like I said, it calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor. So that's all countries. All these countries, you want to buy and sell things, you're gonna have to have that mark. All right. You're gonna have to have that mark. All right. And you see these countries trying to go full force. Well, already got their projects out there, their digital currencies out there, and ultimately that's what it's gonna be. The motb. That's ultimately what it's gonna be. All right. So with that, I pray this video was edifying. Lord, well, I wasn't too all over the place. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles, a great millstone, and peace and safety to the brothers that push this truth and sincerity. And with that, I'm going to say, Salaki, I'm going to say Shalom.